Hi, I'm Steven and I suffer from chronic pain, and I've decided to try the Egoscue method to help stop it. Welcome to week 5. Home exercises went really well this week. Focusing on some frogs, some pillow squeezes. Went really nice. It was a good, solid exercise. I actually really liked it a lot. This week at home was a busy one. I had a few different shoots that I had to do. One big one was a photo shoot for a friend of mine. The idea of the photo shoot was to try to make this model into a scorpion princess. We had makeup artists do some makeup, we had some wardrobe design. When doing this photo shoot, we had to hike through a place called Stony Point. And it's kind of this mini mountain that's nearby that's not too strenuous of a hike, covered in really giant boulders. But this time going on the hike, I had to carry around equipment. I had to bring the camera, I had to bring some lights, so it was a little more strenuous than the normal family outing. We found a few cool locations, some were a little more dangerous than others, and got some really good shots that later on I'm going to composite in some giant scorpions into to make this crazy kind of scorpion princess kind of themed shoot. I definitely don't notice when I'm on shoots, how much straining and whatnot I'm doing, but usually by the time I get home, it's always a big pain. I have hurt wrists, I'll have hurt back, I'll be straining, but this day was different, completely different. After being out in the hot sun for hours, carrying gear, hiking up and down mountains, when I got back, I actually felt great. I actually felt really good and really solid, and was really shocked that I wasn't completely exhausted and I wasn't really sore. This was the first time, I think, throughout this whole process that I really noticed a change, that I really felt different. I felt good, I wasn't in pain. I texted Brian because I got really excited at how things were going. It was a strange sensation. I was not prepared for it, and I really noticed, it really clicked cognitively that something had changed, something had shifted. I'm really excited to get into the clinic this week and see where things go from here.
We're a motionless society. The human body's a motion machine. It's very basic metabolic system defined as energy in, energy out. And the faster that process takes place, the healthier the cell, as it relates to with all the other cells.
Oh, laying down on the job over here?
Hey, dude. What's going on? How are you?
Good.
Yeah, have a seat.
You got going on over here?
Well, so this is what it's like to be the client on the floor and be asked the questions. I see that now.
That's right.
Hey.
Tables have turned.
Yeah. I did get your text in regards to your hands. What'd you do there? That was very cool.
I did. I had a pretty busy week, work-wise, doing a lot of shooting and things, like long 12-hour days.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because at the end of the third day, I expected to be completely exhausted and in a lot of pain, and I wasn't.
What I like about that is that it's his discovery. It's not me going, so how is the pain? How do you feel? I'm not taking him that direction for a reason, but I like that he's noticing the improvements off the hard work that he's been doing.
He's excited, and I'm excited, so it's good. It helps propel us forward and gives you more momentum to keep going, keep trying more exercises.
Tell me when you get to 20.
Mm-hmm.
The first exercise we're going to do with Steven today is called the ankle sequence. The benefit of the ankle sequence is that it allows the low back just to relax, sitting in a slumped position while doing and waking up muscles around the hip. So the action is at the ankle, forefoot, and the toes, which he badly needs. Yep, all you're trying to do is get this part of your foot off the ground. Good.
Yeah, I can definitely feel that one. That was definitely challenging, especially with my toes. Trying to get my toes to bend off a very slanted board definitely caused some cramping and some strain for sure.
I like to throw in exercises every once in a while just to kind of shock the system.
Sure.
So for you, there's a lot of them that are going to shock the system. So why don't we start with you lying on your back with both legs up the wall. And the goal is for us to get your hips all the way to the wall.
All the way up the wall? So for the curveball exercise of the day, I got to do a static wall, which is basically putting my legs flat up against the wall with my hips flat against the wall, laying on the ground. And it seems really simple when you look at it until all of a sudden I try to get up there and there's no way I'm getting my legs to go flat against this wall.
Push your head back.
I'm trying to get my legs straight.
And what did that do?
Totally arched my...
Yeah, can you feel how if I do this,
yeah.
your hips are all the way
Oh,
off
yeah.
the ground?
Yep.
So why don't we slide back to a point where you can go and get your hips down at the same time.
Okay.
So you might have to go back about that far, almost a foot. I'd keep going.
And then eventually I got to a position that I could keep my pelvis on the ground and not be arched up in the air. And that was definitely a strain. That was definitely a position that I was not accustomed to. It definitely makes me recognize that my body is not in the shape that it needs to be in, because it's revolting against these very simple maneuvers.
So I need Stephen to understand that his body is like a high-performance race car. If you felt like your car was wobbling and the tire was ready to come off, you'd go, there's a problem on my front left tire. That was the symptom that he's getting in his arm, that pain, the tingling, the numbness, always having to crack his wrists. So what we need to do is get his body to be as balanced as possible and not just change the wearing out rubber on one of these tires. It's about adjusting the misalignment to allow that tire to last as long as the treads were meant to.
So I have my new menu for the week, new ankle sequences, trying to do a static wall at home, which should prove very entertaining, I think, probably my son especially. But looking forward to trying this new batch of exercises and hopefully continuing our path of getting better, because it definitely is working, and I'm noticing it more and more every day.